Hello, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. This is your host, Sam Capizzi, here at CryptoSomniac to bring you everything crypto related, where the rich never sleep. Today I want to talk to you guys about what I'm doing before and after the hard fork and what approach perhaps that you guys should be taking as well. Hey, what's up Thomas and Muda? What's going on, Joey? And I want to take the time to answer any of you guys' questions, about the fork here live on air. So if you're fortunate enough to show up here today, I'll just try to answer you guys' questions, and I'll give you sort of the two-sided approach to what you could do before and after the fork. There's really two different ways, and we'll talk about today what's going on. Mark, Pierre, how's everybody doing today? Monday here on the west coast of the USA. It's 1:30 p.m. here today, but we have Bitcoin down today at $7,132, taking a little bit of a hit, and some of the altcoins are doing pretty well, specifically Monero, NEM, and Ethereum Classic. Scrolling down further on the list, ARK actually doing pretty well too. Let's take a look what is going on with ARK. New version of ARK node is out, brings some improvements on how peers and transactions are handled. Interesting. So yeah, anyway, we're going to talk about today. I'm buying Bitcoin in this dip. Not a bad idea. I do not think the run for Bitcoin is over yet. But there really is two approaches here that you can take for the split. And what they are is basically you can hold Bitcoin through the split and acquire your Bitcoin Gold, I'm sorry, not the Bitcoin Gold, your Bitcoin SEGWIT 2x Gold, SEGWIT 2x Gold. Sorry, I keep saying gold, but your SEGWIT 2x tokens. And right now, if we pull up B2X, this is a future. It is basically a future order for Bitcoin 2x, going at the rate of around $1,300. So there are some slight differences here. So Bitcoin Gold, I think, was not as large of or serious a fork as Bitcoin 2x is, or SEGWIT 2x. So I think it will be worth more. Thomas Declerc asks, do you think Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash will pump back up before the November 16th? So I do think the run is not over, but there are really two approaches here. So you can hold your Bitcoin through the split through approximately November 16th. The fork happens on an actual block number, not an actual date. And I'm going to pull up my report here on Bitcoin and the cash, the two forks basically. One of our team members wrote this report, and I'm just referring to it to find the block number. So the block number that Bitcoin Gold is supposed to happen at, I'm sorry, SEGWIT 2x is supposed to happen at, is block 494,784, which again is not based on a date or a specific time. So you actually have to look up what block number we're on. So if you look up the blockchain explorer, you'll be able to find what block we are currently on, and you can do an estimate as to how far away that date is. So we are on block 493,378. So just doing some rough math, let's get an exact date. So what we can do is we can take the block number that it's supposed to happen on, which is block 494,784, and subtract what block we're currently on, which is 493,378, which means we have about 1,400 blocks left to go before the fork happens. It takes, on average, 10 minutes to solve a new block. Now, there is no consistency. You can see 23 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. So there's about an 8-minute interval between those two block discoveries. Currently, it looks like we're more than 15. So there's no guaranteed set time or rate at which we discover blocks. It's all by random chance and the discovery of what we call a nonce, which is a solution to the 256 hash algorithm. And it is, again, derived in sort of a random fashion. The block difficulty is adjusted once every 2 weeks to compensate and try to keep that as close to 10 minutes as possible. So what we can do is take 1406 and multiply that by a block average time of 10 minutes. So we are approximately 1,400 minutes away from the block date. Now what we can do is we can divide that by 60 to give us the number of hours, which is 234 hours. And if we divide that by 24 hours, we are about 9.7 days away. And if I add, today is the 6th of November, if we just add 6 days to that, we will approximately hit the split on the 15th and 3/4th day, at least here in Los Angeles, of the 15th. So that's approximately when we are supposed to hit the date of the fork, the 15th. And what you can do is you can either keep your money in Bitcoin and receive it during the split, or the opposite. You can load up on altcoins pretty cheaply. And at first, I originally thought the most optimum solution for this would actually be to cash out the day of the split, you know, right after the snapshot of the split, and buy back into the altcoins immediately afterwards. But there are a lot of difficulties in that, you know, in that first option there. Some of the difficulties are that a lot of the exchanges will shut down prior and after the split. So say there's a coin on one exchange that you want to be able to purchase, but you used one exchange that supported the split to acquire your Bitcoin SEGWIT 2x coins, and you want to trade it very quickly to another exchange. That exchange, or even the exchange that you're currently in, may have halted withdrawals and deposits. So you may not be able to do that. So that's one downside of trying to time the market perfectly. A second one is what we saw before with Bitcoin Cash is actually, Bitcoin Gold, is people actually switched to alts the day before the split. They weren't interested in acquiring the Bitcoin Gold that they were entitled to by having Bitcoin on the split, because again, you are entitled to one Bitcoin SEGWIT 2x coin. For every Bitcoin you hold, you'll have one on each chain. However, I think some people didn't see validity behind the project of Bitcoin Gold and traded their tokens early. So I wanted to show you guys this actually. So the split was back here on, and let's zoom this out to about 12 hours and zoom into October 23rd, which was the approximate date of the last split. What we saw is people actually trading before, and the price of Bitcoin Gold declining before the actual split had even occurred. And what we saw was about a drop of around $500 total. We were about 5,800s, and we dropped down to as low as, well, let's take the high to the high. This wick here is 5,970, and this wick here is 52, let's just say 5,300. So that is about a 59 to 53. That's about a $650 range. So it took a little bit of a hit, not a tremendous hit, because I think a lot of people were holding on to it in anticipation of this split. Now, I tend to think, personally, I'm not a fan of SEGWIT 2x. I do not find much validity behind it moving to 2 megabyte block sizes. I think I am much more a fan of SEGWIT than I am of moving to larger block sizes, which also means I'm not a fan of Bitcoin Cash. I think Bitcoin will continuously have forks and attacks on it like this for the foreseeable future. It's going to continue to be attacked by multiple forks, and there are actually great videos out there on exactly this. I was watching a video a couple of days ago on Andreas Antonopoulos, who is a great spokesperson in Bitcoin. And if I could find the video I'm actually talking about specifically, it might be worth watching. He talks about the continuous forks that will happen on Bitcoin. Bitcoin, Andreas Anton, I always forget how to spell his last name. That will continue to happen because the future of cryptocurrencies, was that it? That wasn't it. Andreas, what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin for beginners. I wish it showed me what I recently watched. Is there a way to do that? It's about a 7-minute video, not too long. And anyway, he talks about how Bitcoin will become more tested, more hardened. Here it is, right here actually. How likely is it that will Bitcoin become obsolete? This is actually a really good video right here. If anyone has the opportunity to watch this video right here is actually extremely good to watch, and he talks about the forks that Bitcoin will continue to suffer. And it was actually quite old. This is a talk from the beginning of the year. I know it was just recently published by this person here, but this was a fantastic talk. And thank you, Ryzen. Oh, maybe not. So this was actually the video that I was referring to that I watched. Let me just double check. Let me mute the volume. And yeah, this is it right here. He talks about how Bitcoin will continue to be under attack, and it will result in a stronger, more hardened, tested, truer Bitcoin. And I tended to agree with him on a lot of fronts. he basically says that no coin or chain has the affordability at this point to have the scale that Bitcoin currently has. Everyone claims to want to be, a better cryptocurrency or altcoin, but none of them have taken the time or patience to actually truly learn what Bitcoin is going through right now. Everyone claims to be the best and doesn't actually pay close enough attention to what's happening with Bitcoin. Bitcoin has the affordability of, such scale. And so Joey asked, what is my approach going to the fork? So as I mentioned, I think there is, in my opinion, since I'm not a fan of SEGWIT 2x, I think larger opportunity in actually switching to the altcoins prior to the split and not actually having money prior to, or having Bitcoin SEGWIT 2x tokens. I do not think Bitcoin SEGWIT 2x will ever be as big as Bitcoin. I think it will be another altcoin, just as Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Gold are. And I think that there will be greater opportunity, and I think it's a safer bet, because your Bitcoin will, if you try to time the market perfectly and switch out of Bitcoin right after the split, because I think everyone anticipates that altcoins will recover immediately after the split. I think by doing that, you're actually trying to time the market a little bit too closely, and I think that there will be people that pull out earlier, because we saw that happen with Bitcoin Gold. We saw people pulling out of altcoins the day before the split. I'm sorry, pulling out of Bitcoin, not of altcoins, pulling out of Bitcoin and entering the altcoins. And I think there will be a tremendous run up early on for those 12 to 24 to 36 hours in altcoins. We'll see a great resurgence. We saw a big resurgence in a lot of them. If we pull up anything in particular, let's pull up one of the altcoins. Let's just go to OMG, obviously one of everybody's favorite altcoins. If we are to take a look at it back on October, right here we started to see this run up right here, the 23rd into the day, a big run up of, let's say this was, let's actually just use the scale here. We can see what the percentage price increase was, price range. I think this tells me the percentage. So that's a recent, if we go wick to wick there, that's a high of about a 25% increase in only, a day or so, from that bottom of that wick to there. And it obviously was short-lived again, because people are loading up on Bitcoin again for SEGWIT 2x, but we are going to see a large resurgence in price, and you may, by trying to hit that, you may enter in down here. You may not get in all the way, because there are people going to be trading early. Just reading the comments, does SEGWIT 2x now have replay protection? If not, you dump your Bitcoin Gold. No, there is no replay protection, no replay attack protection. And this report right here, again, I mentioned to you, this is a report right here that is written by one of our team members here in the group, and it is one of the best reports that I've seen, hands down. Our report writer, I want to give props to Henrique, that's his name, who wrote this. It's a fantastic report, and there, again, there is what we call opt-in replay attack protection, which is not very user-friendly. What it is, it basically requires you on the user end to do extra work to opt in for that replay attack protection. It's not native to the chain. And you can find this report, actually. It's part of our newsletter. You'll receive it as a free bonus download. It covers even Bitcoin Gold and the hard fork. You can download that here on our newsletter. You also get the top 3 PictoCrypts of the month for us, as well as that report as an added bonus. It's premium content. It's really a great report. So if you have any questions about the split and you just want to learn more, I'd suggest downloading yourself a copy. It's all great. It has a lot of references in it, a lot of great information on it. And so to answer your question, there is no replay attack protection. SEGWIT 2x is not something I'm a fan of. I think a lot of people are opposed to it in the community. Even Charlie Lee has spoken out largely. In fact, there's a lot of what do we call them? There's a lot of bets going on, basically, between people in the community. Charlie Lee and some other famous people betting against him for, which coin will be larger and better. But my opinion is, and I think the better and safer thing to do is take advantage of cheap altcoins, because there are some cheap ones. And what I would do is use this opportunity to reassess what's in your portfolio. So if you're in some of these smaller altcoins that you may not have trusted, I'm sure that everyone gets into projects early and preemptively without doing their research. Let's be honest, I've done it before too. I'm very critical recently of what projects I get into. I've made it a point to only buy coins that I've actually read the white paper on, and that is just my investment mentality. But there are certainly projects earlier this year and before that I've got into a little bit excitedly, and I've used all these hard forks as a time to reassess what's in my portfolio and to sort of cut losses with things that I don't think will recover. Because let's be honest, I'll use Siacoin as an example. Siacoin was a coin that I was in back before the split in the summertime with Bitcoin Cash. Siacoin has really tanked ever since then. It has not really recovered, and it was one of those coins that I actually cut losses with back in over the summer before the last split. So everyone has these, has these, tokens or projects that I'm sure that they've gotten into preemptively. And I would use this time actually as an opportunity to perhaps cut some of those losses. And reassess your portfolio. So personally, I think it will be better, and maybe you don't do it all. Of course, if you believe in SEGWIT 2x and you like bigger megabyte, bigger block sizes, there's nothing wrong with holding onto your Bitcoin to receive it through the split. And in fact, you may want to take a double-sided approach, where maybe you take a portion of your Bitcoin, continue to hold it, and receive Bitcoin Cash. SEGWIT 2x tokens, and also take some time before the split to re-enter some of your altcoins at a cheaper price before you're late. Because what this is going to require is basically a lot of around-the-clock action. Like we said, the blocks currently are at 379. We have to wait for another 1,400 blocks or so. So if you're not there on the exact snapshot and available on the 15th/16th of November, you might miss some of that increase in price. So it may be in your best interest to sell early. Like I said, if you're a fan of SEGWIT 2x, there's nothing wrong with keeping that. I'm just telling you what my opinion is. I'm not a believer of SEGWIT 2x for many reasons, including replay attack protection. It's just one of them. But there are a number of things that I think are, reasons why that we may not want SEGWIT 2x. There's a number of these points right here, and I don't want to bore you with them. You can, read them on your own, but to sum it up, hard forks are no guarantee of necessarily upgrading any protocol. Like I said, Bitcoin, I think, will continue to suffer attacks, and I think it will actually result in a stronger, more tested, harder Bitcoin than we currently have. And I think that Bitcoin will remain king for quite some time, and all these other forks will just result in basically altcoins, essentially, kind of like Ethereum Classic and Ethereum, which is a whole nother debate. I'm going to look at some of your guys' questions. Have you read about Power Ledger, Sam? No, I have not, to be honest. Certainly so many projects out there, it's quite hard to stay on top of everything. Just recently, and I've been wanting to put out a couple of videos on two projects that I recently researched and read the white papers to. I wanted to give you guys my opinion on Kyber because I read the white paper once it did become available on exchanges. It was one of those ICOs that I was unable to participate in due to being from America, as well as not being able to get on the whitelist. Kyber is something I really believe in, and I would love to go over it with you guys, as well as the white paper. And I recently read over Electroneum's white paper as well, and want to talk about that. But there are so many projects out there that it's obviously difficult to stay on top of them. But what else? Litecoin is a stale coin, but it does a job at holding its price. I think Litecoin is a great test net for Bitcoin in a lot of senses. A lot of things happen on Litecoin before. I like Litecoin a lot as a token. It's technology, but I think it will just continue to serve pretty much as a test net for a lot of things Bitcoin does. As I mentioned, Bitcoin has the fortune of being at scale right now, whereas many of these other tokens do not. Ethereum is the only one in comparison, and it's still not at the scale that Bitcoin is at. I use Bittrex, but depending on what country you live in, you might want to use something else. I want something like CoinMarketCap that pulls from all exchanges, and I can extort exchanges. I will have to open each individually. Where can I find a database of all the altcoins that show 5, 15, and 30-minute volume changes? So Coinigy does a great job at providing you with many exchanges and altcoins at a very small interval. For example, they have almost every exchange here. You can check out, you know, a lot of the smaller exchanges here. They have, looks like, over 20 or 30 different exchanges with a bunch of coins, and you can drop down this little menu here and look at it on a 5, 10, 15 minute interval, etc. So that might be what you're looking for, William. Not positive. Joey says, I think Litecoin has all the upgrades they're making to Bitcoin. So I do agree. Litecoin has a lot of these things. For example, Litecoin has SEGWIT before Bitcoin. Litecoin is testing Lightning Network, which may be added down the road onto Bitcoin. And basically what that is, it's the ability for side channels to be created. So you can have things happening kind of off-chain in a quicker fashion. And for example, me and you could operate off-chain via the Lightning Network, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and the final result is really the only thing that's reported back to the main chain. So you don't have to have all of these, you know, constant transactions happening on the main chain that sort of bog it down. You can have everything happening off chain, and then once the agreement, you know, comes to an end, or the transaction comes to a final end or result, you know, there's just one positive or negative result that goes to, you know, each party that is reported back to on the main chain. You might not have a subscription, but TradingView has it. So the TradingView definitely does allow you the same ability here. In fact, my partner likes to use TradingView more. I use Coinigy. We pay for both. I do know there are free services on both. I'm not positive what it gets you. Again, with the free, I have the pro version, and if we just type in, for example, let's type in an altcoin, OMG/BTC. We can pull it up on, why is that pulling up Bitcoin? I want OMG, OMG/Bitcoin. You can pull up, you know, these altcoins and pull up what's called an interactive chart, which brings up a chart, and you should be able to change it in between here on all these different time intervals, 5, 15, etc. That's interesting. That actually does not allow me to click on the smaller intervals. I wonder why that is. Huh. Oh, I guess it just had to load. There you go. So you can do that as well on TradingView. Again, my partner likes to use TradingView. We have a lot of these tools set up, and you can see this recovery about to happen before your eyes. So a lot of the signals that we use, so the MACD is getting ready to cross on OMG. We are going to see a recovery here. You're going to see the MACD cross probably in a couple of days here, and I think you'll start to see some of these things start to recover. The RSI is around 44, very low, the lowest it's been in quite some time. The wave trend here is about to cross. So this is just another indicator that my partner likes to use that helps you identify points of, you know, when to buy or sell. I think that you're seeing a little bit, if you're looking and talking about the immediate future, I think Bitcoin is at a pretty good price right now. We did see it tank a little bit. I think you will. This won't be short-lived. People are still going to stock up on Bitcoin, especially as Bitcoin makes a lot of headlines and is seen in the news. And as it approaches the hard fork, the date of the actual hard fork, I think it'll continue to rise. I think you'll see that happen, and we'll continue this upward trend. And in fact, let me pull up one of my charts. I like to see a lot of the moving averages here. And let's go back to Bitcoin. This is Ethereum. This is a chart preset with a lot of things that I like to see up on my chart. But the moving averages, wow, are just, it's phenomenal to see this run up this past year. And everyone asks, you know, is it too late to get into Bitcoin? I don't think it's too late, especially if you're a long-term investor. I think, you know, something around 0.1% of the world is invested into crypto. You know, it's still difficult to explain to my sister, who's even younger than I am, what it is, and to try and become invested. My parents certainly, you know, struggle with the idea, but I definitely don't think it's too early to get in. Some of the questions: hi, enjoy the good work on the channel, Crypto Rocker. Thank you. I just made a video on CentraCoin, as I am a fellow YouTuber. I think it is great and has many things to come. What are your thoughts? You know, I have a couple of videos on Centra as well. Some of the things that Centra does the best, I think, are community outreach and staying up to date and being very open and transparent. I actually spoken to, and I'm friends with Ray Trapani, one of the members there on Centra, and he has enlightened me that that is their number one priority is becoming very customer driven and staying in tune with what the people want. And they have a live chat service system, I believe, right on their website. If we go to centra.tech, I'm not sure if that chat box, yeah, it's still up there online. So they really strive to become like I said, very customer driven. They had what was it called? The hack that happened a couple of weeks ago during their ICO, and they were very transparent and open and help people, restore money that they had been stolen. And however, I don't think that what they do is very proprietary or very revolutionary. I think all cryptocurrency credit card payment processor systems are very, it's not a revolutionary idea. Some of the benefits, though, I do know that Centra is available in the US, so that is a plus, whereas I think 10x currently is not. 10x obviously being, Centra's biggest competitor. But it's not a revolutionary idea, I think, in my eyes. I do think there are better projects out there. However, like I said, Centra is available in the US, which is a plus. They do take care of its customers, which is also a plus. Let's see. You need to buy the newly forked Bitcoin in order to taint your coins. So buy extra Bitcoin and add it to my current coins to change the total. After the fork, buy or get them free at a faucet. Once you add them to the same wallet, your coins are tainted. So yeah, if you guys have any questions regarding anything, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. What it does, it allows other people in the community to know that this video was worth watching. It's been a while since I've been able to get here live and answer some of your guys' questions, so hopefully I was able to answer any of them. If there's any other questions, feel free to shoot them out right now. Check out our website. Again, that report on Bitcoin and the forks on SEGWIT is over at cryptosomniac.com. You'll be able to see. If you sign up, you'll be provided a download link to that report, as well as our top 3 crypto picks of the month. The website is really neat. We have a lot of great features coming out in the future. What else? I have a course over on Udemy. If you're new to cryptocurrency, one of the best places to start learning. I also take one-on-one appointments. You can schedule right through here using this link here. I offer a money-back guarantee. If you're not happy or satisfied, feel free to schedule one. I'm always happy to refund anybody I'm not able to help. When OMG puts out the staking wallet, the coin will rise. So definitely. OMG's roadmap recently came out, and unfortunately they delayed the ability to stake by a couple of quarters. It was actually supposed to. What are your thoughts on OMG, knowing that they have delayed their roadmap significantly? Yeah, exactly. I was disappointed by the delay in the roadmap, but I do believe fully in OMG, and I just don't think that it will immediately rise as quick as people thought, due to the fact that it was supposed to be able to be staked this year, Q4, and they pushed that back until Q2 of next year, which I'm definitely, as everyone said, disappointed. So it may be something that you might want to not invest in as heavily, until we get to the the mainnet launch where you can stake it, where you'll certainly see a greater run up, so your money might be better placed elsewhere. I'm not advising that you don't invest in OMG at all, but for the short term you might not see as large a gain as you might have initially thought. I want an upgraded CoinMarketCap list of coins with volume/prices changes down to the 5 minute. So I think I know what you mean. So the percent change here is listed in 24 hours. I'm curious if you could clarify, William Goodwin. You would like to see the volume and price changes down, so you would like to see them kind of like what Coinigy and TradingView does with being able to break this down to the prices at every 5 minute intervals. Is that sort of what you mean? Because we're building out our website right now, and we're taking a lot of feedback and suggestions from the community. Yeah, CoinMarketCap, I believe, does take it down to the hour. You can change view all, and you can see 24 hour, 7 day, and the 1 hour. And We're basically making our website with the end user in mind and adding a lot of features. So if that's something that a lot of people want to see, we'd be happy to integrate that for you guys. But as I was saying, yeah, I think OMG will do great in the roadmap to come. What else? We also have the Moon Lounge if anyone's interested. So the Moon Lounge is a group of investors like myself and people where we advise them and help them out on where they should be allocating their portfolio. And we have several reports that come out a month. You get early access to reports such as these right here. You get a couple of group phone calls each month with the group. 24/7 access to all the people in the group. We have several team members there, always answering questions. You get access to me, you get access to my partner Snay, always helping you guys out answering questions. Look at the site On-Chain FX, potential inspiration for your new site. Yeah, let's check it out. On-Chain FX, just Google it. I'm not sure what the website is. Current market cap, price, volume, supply, issue, total market cap, Bitcoin dominance, year 2050 market cap implied. That's interesting. I'm not sure what that means. So this is currently not the market cap of Bitcoin. Obviously, Bitcoin has got a market cap of 120 billion. Interesting. Year 2050 supply. Year 2050 market cap. So is that the the current market cap? There we go. And then the market cap implied. Interesting. I'll have to take a look at this site. We're definitely, like I said, looking to add as many possible features as possible. Proof of stake, that's kind of interesting. So if I uncheck proof of stake, it takes away all the proof of stake tokens. That's pretty neat. I definitely like that. Left, you can choose all the stuff. Yeah, that's kind of neat. Actually, I like these features right here. I love taking out the proof of work tokens, allowing you to quickly see what is proof of stake and what is not there. Actually, that's a really cool feature. I like seeing that there's only 40 some proof of stake tokens. Not a whole lot out there, not many. Cool stuff. Glad you showed me this. I'll definitely use it as a source of inspiration for our site. Obviously, we want our site to be unique and different, and we've taken a lot of ideas from different places, and there are a ton of things yet to come. This is really our #1 focus at the moment. But I think that's going to wrap it up. Give me a thumbs up if you're happy with this video. Share it with anyone that you thought it might help and provide. Like I said, there's really 2 approaches that you can take to the fork. Personally, like I said, I'm more in favor of loading up with some of those altcoins cheap. But if you believe in SEGWIT 2x, there's nothing wrong with holding your coins through the split. That's really the two approaches that you can have. And if you're not sure, screw it. Split it between the 2. Buy some altcoins before the split. Keep some Bitcoin through the split to claim your SEGWIT. Of course, I'm not selling all of my Bitcoin. I'm always going to retain Bitcoin in my portfolio. In fact, it's probably the largest, along with Ethereum, in my portfolio. But that may be the approach going forward. So thank you guys all for watching. And remember, stay a crypto somniac, because the rich never sleep.